Time check on Tobago updates is brought to you by Flow, Tobago's newest fiber network.
This Christmas, speed is on us. Get up to 300 megabits per second of speed with our new Link Up Plus plan. Enjoy more speed, more channels, and free streaming for less. Plus, introducing Link Up More with up to 1 gig download speed. Download, stream, video call, share memes, and more. Get free installation when you sign up in-store or online today at discoverflow.co.
Tobago mourns the passing of former Prime Minister Basdeo Panday. Tributes continue to pour in for political giant, former Chief Secretary Hochoy Charles. Chief Secretary encourages Tobagonians to press on despite challenges, and the new school term begins without any major challenges. Good evening and Happy New Year. I am Kristen Salandi and this is your Tobago Updates television news for Tuesday, 2nd of January 2024. Topping the news tonight, former Prime Minister Basdeo Panday is fondly remembered as the most charismatic leader of the country by former Assemblyman Gerald McFarlane. He addressed some of the highs and lows of Mr. Panday's leadership, especially in the relationship with Tobago, on the Good Morning Tobago show. More from Candice Jackson.
While celebrating his last birthday on May 25th, 2023, former Prime Minister Basdeo Panday shared a witty anecdote explaining why he survived 90 years on the earth.
Should come up here. The first thing he will do is ask for shorter hours and higher wages for the angels. And if he doesn't get it, the first thing he will do is strike. Lock out, go so, everything. So please, leave that fellow right on there.
That wit and humor was ever present throughout Panday's illustrious career in the trade union movement and politics. It was what former Assemblyman Gerald McFarlane remembers the most.
There was no other prime minister as charismatic and feel loved, by so many people. And I tell you, boy, you couldn't beat him with the use of language and words and phrase and so on. You couldn't touch him with respect to that.
Among the many achievements that McFarlane believed that Panday found favor with the public was a recognition of the Shelter Baptist faith and the removal of legislation that discriminated against them.
To the point where Indian Prime Minister is Indian Prime Minister, not associated directly with the Baptist community, but found it necessary to to have this holiday in recognition, spiritual Baptist Liberation Day.
There was also his commitment to making access to secondary school education easier.
He said, well, all children will have a secondary education, and that was, in a lot of people's mind, that was exemplary and very worthwhile.
However, McFarlane noted that it was not always a blemish-free career as Prime Minister. He remembered the concerns which arose when Panday's government tried to construct a road in Tobago.
No consultation, you just feel that you as Prime Minister must come and pave some road in Tobago, and they had a big issue about it. And I remember Ashworth Jack putting his car in the way, and Ashworth Jack was almost locked up, if I'm not mistaken, and the car was removed by a wrecker and so on, and that caused a big hullabaloo. And I think Panday get to realize, listen, they don't just walk in and do things as they like.
Despite the hiccups in governance, McFarlane noted that he always found a way to work as colleagues and maintained great levels of communications throughout. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates Television News.
Trinidad and Tobago continues to mourn the death of political heavyweight Basdeo Panday, who was fondly called the Silver Fox. Panday passed away on the first day of 2024. Travicia Phillips gives us a look back on his life and legacy.
Born on May 25, 1933, in a rural village in Pinchestown, Panday's life was a remarkable journey from humble beginnings to the pinnacles of political leadership. His early career included diverse roles as a cane weigher, primary school teacher, and civil servant. However, his trajectory took a significant turn when he pursued higher education, obtaining degrees in law, economics, and drama from prestigious institutions in London during the 1960s. Entering the political arena in 1966 as a member of the Workers' and Farmers' Party, Panday later became the President General of the All Trinidad Sugar and General Workers Trade Union, championing workers' rights. He co-founded the United Labour Front, ULF, and began his parliamentary career as an opposition senator in 1972, eventually becoming a member of the House of Representatives in 1976. Panday's political journey saw him serve as leader of the opposition from 1981 to 1986. His political affiliations evolved, leading to the formation of Club 88 in 1988, which later became the United National Congress, UNC. In 1995, he ascended to the role of Prime Minister, marking a pivotal moment in his political legacy. Over the years, Panday continued to shape the political landscape of Trinidad and Tobago, serving multiple terms as leader of the opposition and in various ministerial capacities. His leadership was a constant presence in the Couva North constituency, which he represented between 1976 and 2010. Panday's commitment to public service was underscored by his roles as Prime Minister and Minister of National Security during the 6th Republican Parliament. In his later years, he continued to be an influential figure. His contributions spanned multiple parliamentary terms, leaving an indelible mark on Trinidad and Tobago's political history. As the nation bids farewell to a political luminary, Basdeo Panday's legacy will endure as a testament to his dedication, resilience, and transformative impact on the socio-political landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. Travicia Phillips, Tobago Updates Television News.
As the tributes for Mr. Hochoy Charles continue to flood in, one theme is clear: his dedication and passion for Tobago. He was a fierce advocate for the island's self-governance, and many people have expressed deep gratitude for his service. Candace Jackson takes us through some of the many tributes in this report.
One social media user is convinced that an autopsy of the first Chief Secretary Hochoy Charles will reveal Tobago engraved on his heart. This sentiment encapsulates the profound impact Charles had throughout his unwavering service to the island that gave him life. Charles passed away on December 31st, 2023, just as the world bid farewell to another year. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine broke the news on social media, recognizing him as a true patriot of Tobago who prioritized the fight for autonomy over his own health. It is this passion and unconditional love for Tobago that deeply impacted minority leader Kelvin Morris. He expressed confidence that Charles' legacy, intertwined with the aspirations of every Tobagonian striving for greater autonomy, will serve as a platform to influence the next generation of Tobago's leaders, regardless of their political affiliations. This makes the loss a significant one for Tobago, as Assemblyman for Roxborough Argyle and political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Watson Duke, tipped his hat to the political legend.
He was an eternal and ever vigilant fighter for more rights for Tobagonians. Indeed, he's like a lost library that cannot be replaced.
While the Innovative Democratic Alliance, the IDA, noted that Charles blazed a trail that sometimes positioned him as a controversial figure, often misunderstood. The IDA stated that although Charles was not a lawyer by profession, he was a learned individual on the Constitution and understood Tobago's positioning within that framework. That passion at times led to tumultuous relationships, according to former Assemblyman Gerald McFarlane, who served in the THA with Mr. Charles.
You know, the relationship with us was little dicey at times, but you can't get away from the fact that he was passionate, he was sincere, he had a vision for what has to be done in this island of Tobago.
Despite this, McFarlane admired how Charles led the Assembly with vision and strong resolve for a better Tobago, particularly in the way he dealt with the development of the road network.
And Hochoy Charles decided that, listen, the government were telling him, listen, you can't go and widen the road and encroach on people's private property. And they had to take decision that, listen, Hochoy in particular has said that, listen, we are going to approach, since we are responsible for acquiring land, we're going to approach every person where we have to widen the road.
That drive earned Charles the nickname Heavy Roller. He was also committed to human capital development by assisting Tobagonians with education. It is for this reason that McFarlane believes establishing a special scholarship fund in his name is the best way to honor the Tobago patriot, Hochoy Charles. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates Television News.
More news after the break. Stay with us.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Want to win 2 nights for 2 at Interest Guest House? Then get your near 3-in-1 card game now. Question and answer, memory, puzzle, fun for everyone. Available at Nelson's Bookstore and Books and Office Supplies. For more details, visit us this Thursday, December 21st between 1 to 5 p.m. at Portmore or call 254-6364 or visit us on Facebook at New Experience of Gaming. Get your game now.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates Television News. A wave of sorrow washes over Tobago as the island grapples with the sad news of the passing of its inaugural Chief Secretary, Hochoy Charles. The heavy roller, as he was fondly called, passed away on the last day of 2023. Here's a recap of his life and legacy.
Tobago bids farewell to its first Chief Secretary, Hochoy Charles, who passed away on Sunday, December 31st, 2023. The island mourns the loss of a true visionary and respected leader whose life was dedicated to serving the people of Tobago. Born and raised on the island, Hochoy Charles possessed an intrinsic understanding of the challenges and aspirations of Tobagonians. His keen intellect and unwavering dedication to his homeland led him on a remarkable journey that redefined Tobago's political landscape. Entering politics in the early 1980s, Charles swiftly ascended through the ranks, earning the trust and admiration of his constituents. Making history in 1987, he became Tobago's first Chief Secretary, a position he held with distinction for 3 consecutive terms until 2001. During his tenure, Charles championed initiatives focusing on sustainable development, healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Charles's legacy is marked by significant improvements in various sectors, transforming Tobago into a major tourist destination and economic hub. His commitment to progress led to unprecedented growth and development on the island. A notable achievement was Charles's relentless effort to improve healthcare services. Spearheading the construction of modern healthcare facilities, he ensured Tobagonians had access to adequate medical care, emphasizing the importance of accessible and quality healthcare. Education was another key focus for Charles, who believed it was the key to Tobago's potential. Implementing various educational reforms, he established new schools, upgraded existing institutions, and ensured access to quality education for Tobagonian students, aiming to empower the youth for a thriving future. Prioritizing infrastructure development, Charles recognized its crucial role in Tobago's economic growth. Ambitious projects to improve road networks, enhance public transportation, and expand the tourism and hospitality industry were initiated. His efforts resulted in increased investment, job opportunities, and a boosted local economy. The heavy roller was one of the loudest voices to champion the cause for autonomy for Tobago for many years. Unfortunately, Tobago has not yet been granted full autonomy, and that fight continues. However, Charles's remarkable contributions and unwavering dedication to public service will forever be remembered. His visionary leadership has left a lasting legacy, transforming Tobago into a thriving island with a bright future. Travicia Phillips, Tobago Updates Television News.
Flags are lowered at half-mast as Trinidad and Tobago mourns the loss of former Prime Minister Basdeo Panday. The order came from the Ministry of National Security, who advised that all state and non-state agencies and the Trinidad and Tobago diplomatic missions abroad that the national flag of Trinidad and Tobago is to be flown at half-mast immediately in observance. This requires lowering the flag by its depth from its normal position at the peak of the staff. At half-mast, the flag is first hoisted to the top of the staff for an instant and then lowered to the half-mast position. Before lowering the flag for the day, the flag is again raised to the top of the staff and then lowered. Other flags on the same stand of poles should also be at half-mast or should not be flown at all when the national flag is at half-mast. Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Fali Augustine, issued a New Year's address to the people of Tobago in which he spoke about the challenges faced in 2023, which included the heavy downpour that severely affected Charlottesville. He also shared details about the Friendship Connector Road project and urged people to contribute to the development of the island. More in this story.
Chief Secretary Fali Augustine began his address by acknowledging the challenges faced in 2023. He highlighted the natural disaster that occurred in Charlottesville as a result of a heavy downpour, which resulted in severe flash flooding and landslides.
That heavy rainfall out of nowhere, dampened the season for the villagers of Charlottesville. A situation that resulted in significant damages for some, which we at the Tobago House of Assembly are working feverishly on.
He then offered words of encouragement, acknowledging that there will be challenges along the way. However, it should not discourage people from pushing forward. He also spoke about the Friendship Connector Road project, the location for his New Year message.
As an administration, we propose to press on, knowing that the addition of this Friendship Connector Road would ultimately redound to the greater good of Tobago and the Tobagonians.
He noted that it is not just about building a new road, but about paving the way for a stronger Tobago.
In Southwest Tobago, we are cognizant of the rising levels of traffic congestion being experienced on a frequent basis. We are also extremely mindful of the various adverse effects that traffic jams can have on motorists' well-being, on pollution levels, and even on the island's productivity.
He shared some of the successes of his executive in the areas of healthcare and the issue of gratuity and increment being paid to teachers. The Chief Secretary encouraged Tobagonians to keep the island in their resolutions and act on those resolutions. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
More news after the break. Stay tuned.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JK Tech TT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Right on the heels of a year that saw 14 murders, Tobago has recorded its first murder for 2024. Dead is Kareem Small of Patience Hill, who was shot to death. Tanika Cruikshank has further details on the most recent murders in Tobago.
Kareem Small of Patience Hill was shot and killed on Monday, January 1st, 2024, marking Tobago's first homicide for the year. According to police reports, 2 men were shot at a park maintained by CPEP in Patience Hill on Monday. While Kareem was pronounced dead at the scene, the other man, identified as Olnick Keelan, was rushed to Scarborough General Hospital. At the scene, Nigel Tate, the representative for Signal Hill Patience Hill, chatted with media representatives. He urged young people to put down their guns. Prior to that, on Saturday the 30th of December 2023, 37-year-old Clifford Ramsoo of James Street, Goodwood, Tobago, was discovered dead in a grassy area off Windward Main Road in Goldsboro. According to the police, Ramsuk was shot in the upper torso several times. 5 expending 9mm rounds and 1 projectile fragment were recovered from the scene by crime scene investigators. Investigators believe this murder was of drug-related. Investigations are continuing in both incidents. Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
As 2024 begins, crime remains a major concern for many in Tobago, including the police, as 2023 ended with a slew of murders and one already for 2024. Senior Superintendent Rodil Kirk appeared on the Tobago Updates morning show, providing measures for how persons can protect themselves, especially as the carnival season approaches. Here is more.
The year 2023 ended with Tobago's murder toll at 14, with the majority being gun-related. Senior Superintendent Ruddell Kirk was asked what could be done to curb the increased violent crime on the island. He stated that policing is not entirely the responsibility of the police, but also of the citizens who should be more involved.
We have to be more guarded with in our space. We have to look out for one another, and if we do that, that will be a major contribution towards minimizing any incidents from occurring. Because when you see something and you call the police, I know you will get swift response.
Kirk went on to discuss safety measures for the upcoming carnival season, sharing that they are focused on a SMART initiative, which stands for Safety Measures Aimed at Reducing Threats.
When you go attending some of these fetes, you have to be smart in where you park. You have to be smart in if you intend to drink, you have your designated driver. If you are leaving home, make sure you don't leave the children unattended. Make sure that you minimize having these large amounts of jewelry and cash on you.
Superintendent Kirk highlighted that the TTPS has observed an increase in crimes and warned persons to secure their valuables. However, if they are stolen, valuables should have unique marks easily identifiable by their owner. He also urged citizens to take extra measures to protect their homes and businesses from break-ins, like installing CCTV cameras.
Because we are seeing the trend, you have to be proactive going forward. Take nothing for granted. So this is what we are urging as the police, that when you are going out now, make sure you exercise all the level of caution that you can. And in the interim, you too have all the emergency numbers for the police at hand.
He encouraged general safety measures, including being vigilant and utilizing modern technology. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
The second term of the school year began today in Tobago. Secretary for the Division of Education, Research and Technology, Assemblyman Zarishuk Hackett, published a message addressed to students, teachers and parents. Meanwhile, Tobago officer for the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, Braden Roberts, shared that there were no major concerns in the reopening of schools. Ariana Scipio has the details.
Addressing students, teachers, and parents, Secretary Zarisha Hackett issued a heartfelt message embracing the start of a new school term. She encouraged students to face challenges and become better versions of themselves, describing the new school term as a canvas that they can paint their dreams on. Addressing teachers, Hackett urged them to continue to encourage creativity and foster an environment where students are eager to learn. To parents, she thanked them for entrusting them with the responsibility of shaping their children's future while also underscoring their importance in creating a conducive learning environment. Tutor Tobago officer Braden Roberts shared his thoughts on the start of the new school term. He said there were no major concerns.
Several of the schools on the island would have the typical issues of the plumbing, the lighting, and so on and so on areas. The division had no throughout last term, but I've been trying to address some of them.
Roberts noted that the main concern was a back pay owed to teachers that had not yet been issued. He shared that he is in communication about the issue of back pay with the administrator and their team to see how best it can be done. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
We'll go for a short break and come back with more. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. The remains of 2 women found inside an apartment in Moriah have been identified as Siobhan Moffat, 34, of Bottom Road, Annosville Road, Woodlands, Moriah, and Gemma Alexis, 62. Both women were last seen alive on December 24, 2023. The bodies were discovered when the landlord, Sheldon Jack, noticed he had not seen them for several days and went to check up on them on Friday, December 29th. When he received no response, he then made a report to the Moriah police station. Both ladies were discovered by the police on a bed. Wearing a white nightgown, Alexis lay on her back with her feet propped up on the floor, while Moffat, wearing a white and blue top, on her side of her head, resting on Alexis' lap. The bodies were already in a state of decomposition. The bodies were transported to the mortuary at the Scarborough General Hospital, where they are still awaiting an autopsy to determine the cause of death. With an increase in crimes in Tobago and with a murder on the first day of the new year, Tobago Updates took to the streets of Scarborough to hear from citizens what can be done to aid in a decrease in crimes for 2024. Here's what some of you had to say.
The police commissioner should not be where she is. Leadership is lacking. Leadership. These people are not the leader, they are party supporters.
Right now, what was taking place in Trinidad all the time is reaching Tobago. And you have to realize once a country developing, you have to expect crime. Yeah, there's no stopping about that.
They're supposed to be more vigilant. Well, the police can't be up and down all over the place, but people have to watch out for one another back.
The best that I can say is that we need more police on the street and in the areas where they know that crimes would be committed. And we need more community development, more.
What I think that could be done is to keep the law of the Lord, and that will solve all the problems.
And if we don't know God, we all gonna suffer, and then we must accept who is God and the true and living Christ. Until that time come, prophecy had to fulfill. God put us here for a purpose to live and unite happily until our time have come out. We are breaking all the rules.
The center of this problem is a spiritual issue. We need to seek God. We need to get back to that place where we recognize the values that were taught to us, which came from the Bible, by our grandparents. We should inculcate that, not just in terms of the general society, but in the schools.
Now for the weather update from the Trinidad and Tobago Met Office. Tonight is expected to be generally clear and cool, with only 1 or 2 light passing showers. Temperatures are likely to drop to 25 degrees Celsius. Looking ahead to tomorrow, anticipate a few showery spells, particularly during the early morning and afternoon, which will interrupt what is otherwise expected to be a generally hot and sunny day. Temperatures are projected to rise to 32 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 36 degrees. Seas are forecasted to be slight to moderate, with waves reaching up to 1.5 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. The sun will rise at 6:22 a.m. and the sunset is expected at 5:51 p.m. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Recapping the headlines. Trinidad and Tobago mourns the passing of former Prime Minister Basdeo Panday. Tributes continue to pour in for Tobago's political giant, Hochoy Charles. Chief Secretary encourages Tobagonians to press on despite challenges, and the new school term begins without any major challenges. I am Kristen Salandi. Have a good night.